I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
What up, and welcome into Friday's edition of Pregaming here on the Sports Money Network. I'm your boy, Mikey Money, and I'm here to give you guys the plays to make the bookies pop. I'm excited about the card we have this evening. Information is pouring in right now. I just had this epiphany of a way that I can better track all that. It is literally eight reports deep. 8 reports deep. All in the last 10 minutes. Literally, I'm trying to digest it all, and I should almost step away and come back. That's the situation. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the new Friday or the new week-long format here that we've deployed, including getting those player prop tools that we brought to the table, bought some player prop tools to improve our ability to cover the board and automate and integrate to create efficiency while growing our bankrolls. Also, the Sharp Respected Betting Report, 2 pieces that I wanted to make sure I added this week because I'd been testing it and just watching my bankroll swell. So I thought, you know what, why not give me an opportunity to share that with you boys and girls? I know we all like to win and win big, so hopefully we will do that again tonight because we did it last night. That was one of those just fortunate days to have a bankroll. We kind of always talk about grinding, right? And, we want to stay in the fight and, be able to do all of that. But, last night was one of those, just everything was coming to a really positive head for us here. We gained almost 7 units on this show, just plays given out on this show. And I talked about the team or the player props, right? I gave you 4. I added 3 to the NHL. Well, I had 1 for the NHL. I added 2 more, and then I gave you a big bomb in the NBA. Well, the NBA big bomb didn't cash. But I told you guys, unit management, play that to win what your unit might look like, right? So we didn't give the farm away, but Tony Maselli, who's the boss? No, Matthias Maselli is the boss for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, I gave you his point at plus 140 as the official play. I told you this guy scores goals. It was plus 380, and this guy scores first goals at plus 2,400 last night. So hopefully you heard what I said, at least got in on the plus 140. That's the official play, but I'll tell you, I cashed. He scored that first goal and I screamed out loud. William Nylander, I gave you a wild Bill Nylander to get 2+ points last night at plus 195. That cashed. He had 2 on the dot. And then, of course, the Toronto Maple Leafs get the win. 6-4 beatdown over Anaheim. Tracking that 6-2 trend I told you guys about. I told you I thought these guys were coming to fruition. We're not reading newspapers. We're trying to use the information presented to us to speculate, prognosticate, and then hopefully we're not sitting around Tage Thompson was jerking the old chain last night out there. No goals for Tage, but they did finally take that L. San Jose Sharks were a big plus 140 win for us. The Edmonton Oilers continued to go over at 7-2 finals. 6.5 was easy cash. I cashed, just so we're all on the same page. I practice what I preach. And I told you guys about these dogs and the strategy that we shared the other day around betting the dogs. I did bet them. The ones I bet happily cashed. And I cashed a big parlay. It was like 47-1 on a 5-leg. Nice little dog parlay. So felt pretty good last night. Last night we were just buzzing, man. We were cranking. Now, college basketball, Northwestern, listen, they didn't win, but they covered. That's all that matters to us. We had the old hooker in our back pocket on that one. We did not get the under 152.5 in Duke, and we did not get Florida Atlantic, but we got the Celtics. Celtics 2-point loss, 6.5-point cover. The Denver Nuggets. I told you guys the Nuggets were going to smash, and they smashed outright. So pretty strong day yesterday. And then, of course, look, last night's card across the win club as well. 4-0 in the NBA, 4-1 in the NHL. I think it was 2-3 in college hoops. But, we've kicked the dust off of college hoops because today we are absolutely firing. Free play cashed. I don't know, this feels like everything's cashing right now. Feels like it's a really... they talk about teams that peak too early. Our team is not peaking too early. We are just honing in for the right time. And it is the right time. This is where we spend the next 2 to 3 weeks, and it makes the whole year in some cases as far as the way the cash goes down. So stick with me. We're going to be all right. We're going to be just fine as we continue to grow this community here based on winning. You guys know you want it. I want it. We all want to win. I had too much time on my hands because I got a first basket parlay out there, man. Oh man. But look, the free play I gave you guys here on Winnable was North Texas plus 8.5. And I gave you a free play last night as well in the NBA. Both of them. Well, I shouldn't say both of them. We're still working on trying to cash this free play. But North Texas has been up. They closed the first half up 36-25. So lots of things happening. Excuse me. My voice isn't happening. Let's see what else. I gave you a live play out there for you guys that are over on Winnable. St. Louis plus 7.5. St. Louis won the damn game by 7. So that was an easy no sweater. Wisconsin, whiskey as it will. Well, I told you guys, this is why I was saying this a couple weeks ago. I had Wisconsin as an Elite 8 team. So when it comes to them playing Illinois today and getting 8.5 points, that's too many points. They were getting busted up a little bit in the first half, but it was, even though they were down 6, the line was still 8.5. That's a red flag if you were an Illinois bettor. And then sure enough, goes to overtime. They get the win 91-88. So, listen, it's fun to recap when there's a lot of things going on. It's also fun to recap when there's a lot of winning going on. If you're looking for a live play from me right now, let's talk about a live option here. I want to look at one thing real quick, and then I'll give this to you guys. Let me see. Nice. All right. So the plays I gave out this afternoon over on Winnable, as well as shared them on the Silver and Gold Club in the community post, went 3-1. Ohio State plus 13.5 cashed. Wisconsin, I guess I shouldn't say that cashed yet, but and then St. Bonaventure plus, Wisconsin cash. Yeah, what am I talking about? I just talked about them. And then St. Bonaventure plus 6.5 cashed, lost by 5. Florida did not. So, man, we are just flying. We are flying to start this thing off here. I know they hate it when we talk about our winners, but listen, we have to be accountable. That's one of the differences between this show and the rest is we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to own our losses. We're going to celebrate our victories. And listen, it's just about that transparency that I think makes us the tip of the spear when it comes to this gambling thing around these social media spaces. They're all number one on one channel. There's another channel that just shoots from the hip. They don't even know what the hell games are being played. But we kicked the day off with the morning steam. We follow and fire with pregame, and we're just 2 weeks away from the baseball season. So get ready for the things that we have coming out there as well. Just trying to win. This is our time of year. So that's where I like to get involved here and say, well, let's say this. How about you smash the thumbs up button? If you haven't done so already, show some love for the sports money community out there. It is Friday, TGIFF. Celebrate it with me by smashing that thumbs up button. And then let's get to work and talk some action. I think I'd missed the sharp respected betting update from yesterday. Let's see. College basketball, Akron did not cover. Ohio plus 3.5 against Kent State was the other play. And then the under 158.5 in that spot. So I should have looked at this earlier. My fault. I just want you guys to know as well that this, we can talk about it, make some shit up, pretend we looked at the card from the night before, and then fire out some plays, or we can just kind of be real, right? Not important to have a tool. It's important to have the right tool. That way the tip of the spear remains sharp and can continue to cut. Ohio and Kent. Kent State smacked them boys up. So Ohio did not cover, and it did not stay under either. So, okay, that's the way they're going to roll over there. The OKC Boston under, and then the Spurs minus 4.5 as well. So I think they had a tough one. I'll tell you this, though. They laid out the NHL for tomorrow. I'll probably give a sneak peek of those tonight over on Winnable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total plays already for the NHL for tomorrow. Nothing to report from the sharp, respected betting stanchions here this evening, but we will get to work and let's talk about what's going on today. We've got the Kings and the Islanders, the Oilers and the Blues, the only 2 games on the card. Then we'll go to college hoops. We've got a pretty good slate here. Purdue, Nebraska, Iowa State, Arizona, and then Kansas and Houston. I will dive into player props. I've got one that's a 55-1. Then we will fire off to the Suns and Raptors, the Cavs and Mavericks, the Bulls and the Clippers. We will put the bow on the show with the sharp, respected betting update for the day. College hoops in the NBA in play today. They've got 2 sides and 2 totals for the NBA. And it looks like 2 sides left and just 2 sides left for the college hoops. So very important if you guys are looking to grow your bankrolls. If you're looking to go from, hey, this is just a recreational thing, let me pop $5 out there and play 5-leg parlays. Okay, you could do that. But if you want to get big, you want to grow the bankrolls, you want to try to have some fun with some extra dollars and cents in life, you can certainly go over, support me at winnable.com/Mikey Money. And you'll get text alerts. You won't miss free plays, live plays, any plays that I give out there. Good little hub for me to efficiently communicate. I saw they have a Telegram option. I don't know. I feel like I talked to you guys enough. Do we need a Telegram account? I don't know. But anyhow, there's some more technology that I am evaluating as we continue to evolve. So I appreciate all you guys being here. Shout out to Peter Gracia. He says, good call, Sharks money. Yes, sir. Shout out to J-Dub in the house. Stop Geoengineering's here. Peter Gracia says, so glad I didn't go Bruins. It was tricky. It was tempting. Redbeard says, cash, Wisconsin plus 7.5. There's the 9 legacy paid in full parlay of the day. Oklahoma, Cal State, Northridge, Cal State, Bulletin, and then Utah Tech. On spreads, best bet, Chicago Bulls plus 13.5, Arizona minus 3.5, and the Pacers spread. I appreciate all you guys. J-Dub says everybody's on Purdue tonight. Peter Grassi says, nice 3-1 today. Thanks. Mikey Money. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trevor Davis, appreciate you, man. I wish we were GOAT status, but hey, man, stay a humble warrior. Keep the tip of the spear sharp and chase down our food and drag it home for dinner every night. That's what we're doing here. Peter Gracia, thank God it's Friday. Drew Scalosa in the house says it's Friday the 13th. It is. And that scares some people. Let's get into some NHL. As it is a small card. I do have a player prop. But let's talk a little bit about this game itself here. And it kind of comes down to just either you have a feel for these teams or you're going to read recaps the next day, right? And I feel like I have that feel for this team. And I specifically talked about it in the sense of firing their coach, bringing somebody in from the outside is not a wave the white flag and surrender. They want to die on their feet, not on their knees, this Los Angeles Kings team. Darcy Kemper, Ilya Sorokin, and they're pretty comparable. I mean, there's quite a bit more mileage on the Sorokin side of things. And he's been pretty fantastic until lately. He is 4-1, but his goals against average has gone from 2.5 to 3.0 in that stretch of time. So kind of on a sell. And that's why I referenced that he's got quite a few more games under his belt. He's got almost a 10-pack more under his belt than what we've seen from Darcy Kemper, who is leading the Kings into the battle tonight for the playoffs. They got to win. Backs against the wall before it is officially over. Unfortunately, Kemper's been a bag of shit. He has 1-3-1. He has a 3.84 goals against average. You're going to give me a small dog on a team they already bitch slapped. That's what you're going to do here. We're in Friday fight mode. They beat him 5-3 2 weeks ago. Arguably, the only chemistry or model that's changed is that they got stronger by adding new weapons and new coaches. So this isn't the traditional bounce back revenge spot for me. This is the Kings against the Islanders. How about this one? The Kings have slapped them girls around 18-4. Over a 22 game sample. They don't see each other very often. In fact, it's probably, if you folded this map of the U.S. in half, my guess would be somewhere around where the Los Angeles arena is where you would see the Islanders arena, and they're probably touching each other. It's a pretty far fucking trip. But over 19 years, they've played 22 times, and the Los Angeles Kings are 18-4. Motivation, they've already beaten them. That gives them strength and confidence. They're coming in this thing desperate, and road dogs against rested opponents on a Friday in the NHL have gone 4-1. It is an LA Kings spot for me tonight. I am going to fade these Islanders. Doesn't take much to get me to want to fade the Islanders anyhow. But in this case here, I suspect they probably try to keep a lower, slower pace type of game. But I just think there's too much going on for this LA Kings team right now to get all sassied up and start thinking about trying to play these Islanders. Not at this price tag. Sometimes you just, listen, I certainly can be wrong. I can acknowledge that there's an option to be wrong in this case, but this thing opened up at plus 125. It's down to plus 123, and all the money's coming in on the Islanders. So do with that information what you will. I'm just here to give you my thoughts and opinions and share with you what I'm betting. In fact, I'm sharing with you the premium winnable card here in the NHL, and I did give out the Los Angeles Kings. As we roll over to the Edmonton Oilers game, I found this game a little bit tricky. God, the Oilers just feel like don't they just feel like, like if you have a piece of plastic, like say you got a greenhouse, right? Springs in the air and you got a greenhouse and it gets a rip in it, and that rip just starts to continue to widen, and then the wind just starts kind of flapping and taking it, and it's not if, it's when, right? It's when it's going to just finally give out. And I feel like that's the case with the Oilers. 9-6-1 is Connor Ingram. They've had difficulty figuring out their goaltending exchange. They got thumped last night by the Dallas Stars. That was an easy over. They've been an over team for us. Let's not complicate it. Let's just stick with the over. Now, I thought about it. Every time I say that, I think about the M&M. Thought about it. I like Edmonton in this game. Not the fact that they're on the second leg of the back-to-back, but, Jordan Binnington, sure, for St. Louis, but they were like selling parts. There was conversation about Rob Thomas being traded. There was that Periaco thing where he didn't want to go to Buffalo. I mean, they tried to dismantle this team and the pieces just kind of hung on. So you do have a team in experience with the Edmonton Oilers, desperate as well. I think the difference for this game for me was let's just take the over and expect more goals and see if we can get paid on that. I think that's the way to attack this NHL card. Take a dog, take a total. And I'll talk about a prop here for you guys in a momento. Peter Grossi says mechanical weathering. Shout out to Jerry Davis. He says it moved back to 140 for me. Which site? Are you talking about the Kings game? Love it at 140. Yeah, I could only get 125. Big Crypto says he likes the LA Kings today and the Edmonton Oilers. Matter, I'm very confident about the Edmonton Oilers today. That's our guy, Big Crypto. Jerry Davis says it's 140. I wonder where you're at with the 140. All right. That'll do it for us in the NHL, you guys. Put your best bets out there. Put your plays. Put your comments. Put your feedback in the chat. Love to talk about what you guys are on as we transition on over. Red Rover, give me the dog and the over. I don't know about the over in this game, but I think that this is a interesting spot because breaking it down and starting to look at some of the analytics, I was kind of surprised to see Purdue at 18 and Nebraska at 11. I kind of just, my gut told me that was a flip-flop situation for what it's worth. And so helpful to break some of this stuff down and take a look at it here. And I don't know that Nebraska wins outright, but I know Nebraska is a feisty, wiry squadron. The last time they played Purdue, they were getting thumped by 22 points. They lost in overtime, but they were down 22 to go to overtime, only to lose 80-77. Speaks to me of their stick-to-itiveness, their je ne sais quoi, if you will. And they're averaging 78 points a game. They shoot 46.7%, and then 35% from beyond the arc. Their defense allows only 66 points a game. This is a good, strong, core Big Ten team. They've got some key players coming into this thing, averaging double-digit points, but they're not relying heavily on one spot versus another. And Purdue, on the other hand, look, I get it. They're beating teams up. They crushed Northwestern 81-68. We covered with the hook. Offensively, impressive ball. Braden Smith is the guy that, if you look at Purdue, it's like every time that game's on, this dude's got the ball in his hand. So he averages like 15 points and 9 assists. He's a double-double. It's a rarity for the Big Ten. I just think this is a situation where you've got a disciplined defense. They've already faced the fear of they lost to these guys. You don't think they remembered that bad, sluggish start? And as long as they minimize their turnovers, keep the pace down, play that low, slow, grind them out type of game, 2 possessions is too many. And so I will take Nebraska with a lean to the money line. Like I said, I don't know that they win outright, but high totals and dogs go hand in hand. We talked about this before. When you take a team with a total that's high, they're expecting that the dog is going to either get busted up and be chasing the whole time, pushing the pace, pushing the points, or at the very least, they're competitive and doing their end of the bargain. And the reality is 9 straight times that is cashed if you've got a dog on a neutral site with a high total in the college ranks. So I like it. I think it's a good opportunity for us to get in the game with the better defensively oriented team here. And why not? Look for the upset. Plus 3.5, plus 4.5, whatever you can get in the halves. I'm good with it. Jerry Islanders back to 140. It had moved to -1. Oh, I see what he's saying. Okay. J Dub says, to be fair, Nebraska has very little tournament history. That's true. It's a great point. It's true. But I'm just not a Purdue fan. You know what Purdue stands for in French, don't you? Le Hou Saher. I remember that all the way back to like 7th grade. I was just like, Purdue, loser? And then every time I watched a Purdue game, I was like, they are a bunch of fucking losers. Gary Davis says, Broberg point, Thomas assist, and a plus 240 point for Fowler in blue game. J-Dub says, go Big Red. Let's go to a fun game. I mean, these are all really right at this point here. We're truly getting into the swing of March Madness, but number 7, Iowa State, going to take on number 2, Arizona. Holy smokes. You know what? I forgot to give you guys the cash flow splits on that last game, but I will tie them off, give them to you guys here. As we look at the board, this thing opened at 4.5. I'm sorry, 3.5 on the Purdue Nebraska. It moved to 4.5. It's come back to 3.5. 66% of the bets, 66% of the cash. This to me is a false move. They say it moved to 4.5, but it's minus 106. Now I see 3.5s in a lot of books. That to me feels trappy. Iowa State and Arizona, 7 p.m. special as well. Almost the same line, almost the same profile. Arizona minus 4.5, now minus 3.5. 58% of the bets, 63% of the cash. So some public action coming in on Iowa State. Total went from 142.5 to 144.5. Interesting little move there for 2 points. 80% of the bets, 88% of the cash. I just think you're about to find out. There's a couple of games where I think that the top, I mean, look, I've said it time and again, I'm on record, and it's no surprise, right? I mean, probably the number 1 team in the tournament. And we talked about Michigan. We talked about Duke. We talked about some of the likes of Houston's, the UConn's, the Illinois spots out there. But you can't neglect Arizona. As thorough and complete a squad as maybe there is in the field for college basketball. Now, the thing that they're talking about is Iowa State's defense. And I do think that this is probably a lower scoring game. The problem I have is who are you battle tested against? I've told you I was fading Texas Tech starting 2 months ago. So you beat a Texas Tech team. Yeah, they held them to 53 points, but there's a reason we were fading Texas Tech teams. That's why we were fading Texas Tech teams. Less than a point of possession. Arizona State beat the shit out of Arizona State. I had Arizona State in the first half, and then I was mad at myself because I was like, I expect Iowa State. But now I just think the public's getting all over these guys. Look, they still only rank 109th in 2-point field goal defense, 31st in 3-point field goal defense. I don't know if it's enough. Arizona is going to look to play a faster pace. So this will be the difference of styles and fights. Should see Iowa State want to slow it down. Should see Arizona want to pick it up. And then ultimately, just to me, it's the depth that Arizona has. I mean, look, I've been betting there. I've been on Iowa State this year. Can't argue with that. Made some good money with them boys. But I think this is just a situation where the wrong expectation from the public here with Iowa State. Their time done. Now I will share this. Sharp Perspective Betting Report, Iowa State. I'll share with you who they had today. They do like Iowa State. So bear that with it. You will. God, they're just a great looking roster, top to bottom. And then look, it's not just that they won. Like UCF had a nice little upset there. They beat the snot out of them, 81-59. And they've got, look, their offense. They can put points up. They got a freshman guard that's one of the best in the country. They got size to go there and out rebound and limit your second chance opportunities or increase their second chance opportunities. There's a reason they're the best in the Big 12 in rebounding, points generated, margin. All those things matter in this game here. And I don't expect them to blow out Iowa State, but I think this is a situation where they opened it up. They showed us what they can do against UCF and much tighter game. But let's be honest. It's going to be Arizona minus the 3.5. Let's see. Nasty motherfucking Nate's in the house. He says Purdue first half. St. John's first half. Zofe says my brother-in-law went to Purdue. Drew Brees days. He said they were asked to back engineering. Yeah, I get that. Reverse. I get that. Bunch of fucking nerds. Gary Davis says this is going to be an Iowa State home game. I love the under 144.5. Yeah, I think the unders are really good look in this game too. J Main, what up, my guy? Jerry wants to know what you got for us, J Main. I agree. I second Jerry's request out there. Let's see it, boys. Big Crypto says Arizona will win, but Iowa will cover. So it's a live betting situation. Okay. Zofe says Cyclones for me, but I've been getting my teeth kicked in, so proceed with caution, gents. Okay. Well, that's what makes it so much fun, right? We got a lot of different opinions, thoughts, and process out there. Let me share my opinion on this one. I told you guys, Kansas for me, as I reflect, Kansas became a bubble team. You know, like there's some teams that I consider, I can't quite decide, do I like them or don't I like? If they sucked, I would just say they sucked, right? But then there's these teams where I kind of flirt with them. I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. I'm not back in on Kansas, but they're a bubble team. I am in on Houston. I think the problem, here's the problem. Oh, I spelled Houston wrong. That's a problem. Sorry. I try to double check these things as I go. My bad. Houston's defense is the real deal. It's been consistently. I told you that Houston is the house of unders for me, as we've seen. You know, we had Houston, West Virginia, Virginia's, Iowa State's. Shit. We've had Cincinnati's. You know, we had some good unders this season, but I think the challenge here is late season. Dogs who don't score a lot of points, that's Kansas. Less than 60% of the season have gone over the average on the season. Well, Kansas dealt with injuries too, so in all fairness. But the under cashes, and if the under is going to cash, it's because Houston's defense stymies you. If they put you at 58 points on the season or on the night, you're in trouble. And that's not out of the realm of reality. I think that size-wise, they have the advantage. That leads to the boards that we've talked about. Now, the lines come down a little bit from 5.5 to 4.5. 61% of the bets and 45% of the cash. It's a little alarming. I don't like that the total's gone up from 134.5 to 138.5. I thought about it. Now, I like the unders, as you well know, with my Houston teams. I couldn't get there with the under. So ultimately, the choice became over or Houston. Well, Houston won out. -5.5 is the number that I laid. Because I just have that sneaky suspicion. I know you're sitting there going, well, you just said you like your under. I do. I do like my unders with Houston. My problem is, I just think they beat up Kansas more than, because Kansas got themselves into the bubble team situation for me because of their inconsistent play. So that's the way I want to do it, boys. That's the way we're going to get her done in college hoops. Let's move over to the prop shop. What do you say? As I update my timestamp, hopefully you guys enjoy the timestamp. What a big week of change. We added timestamps. We added player prop analysis. We added sharp respected betting reports. It's just a lot. So, you know, it's a lot to manage as a single individual here. So if you guys could kindly show some support, if you like what you're seeing, I need you guys to comment after the show, or we'll do away with it. If I can save time, I want to. But that being said, you know, it's been a fun week here. We've been profitable. I think since we moved to this 5 p.m. time slot, we've gotten the plays out sooner. We're winning more consistently, and it's the right time as we move into March Madness. So I'm very excited for the direction ahead, you guys. Let's talk about some of these spots here. The first one I'm looking at in the NHL, I'm going to give you, going back to that Kings game. Excuse me. I think the Kings are going to win. I'm not scared to correlate it. I like Adrian Kempe. He plays with two of the best in the game, Panarin and Kopitar. I don't know. Kopitar is one of the best in the game. He's going to get his chances. He's averaging 20 minutes. That whole first line's averaging. As a matter of fact, it's impressive. This is how you can tell the Kings are in go get the job done mode. Their top two lines are all averaging 20 minutes of ice time a game. They shorten. That's the definition of shorting the bench. Leferrier, who does score. Leferrier is a guy that I looked at today from a scoring perspective, but he's just not getting the ice time right now. He's down to 6.5 minutes in his last 10 games. They're playing the fourth line more because they're playing the checking line. They want them boys to go out there and send a physical message to beat the team up so that we can put our first and second line back out there and try to put the puck in the back of the net. So I'm going to go in that direction. Kempe plays on the power play unit as well. And this is why I like, now his goal is plus 200. In his last 10 games on special teams, expect them to try to capitalize as they're pushing for playoffs. He's got 5 goals, 6 assists, 31 shots in his last 10 games. Firing. This dude's been absolute fucking workhorse. We're going to take him as our player prop in the NHL. Shout out to Michael P. Doing an excellent job. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Michael P. My dude, always positive player. AOD, I appreciate you, my guy. Big Crypto says, I don't like to give out parlays, but consensus Friday the 13th, Arizona money line, Duke money line, Houston money line, Seton Hall with the points. Jerry Davis says he's on the under 139.5. Last game was 126. This is a KU heavy crowd. Jay Man says he's got Kempe on his fantasy team. True story. I played fantasy hockey once and I won the damn thing. So I retired. It was just one of those ESPN leagues there where I didn't know anybody that was playing. Nobody wanted to play. It was weird. But I had a tech friend of mine design a who should start situation. Oh, it's great. Story for another day. You guys aren't here for that. You're here for some NBA action here. We'll look at the Suns and the Raptors. Oh, I was going to talk about some player props. Shit, I missed it. How could I? Let me go back to this player prop spot there. Because I do love in the NBA, I'm looking at Cooper Flag. I know this Dallas team is a little bit tired. There's fatigue factor sitting on the universe of this thing here, but I like this. Here's where I like Cooper Flag. A couple ways you could play it. First of all, you got to start with his rebounds. He's a rebounder. He's averaging 6.8 rebounds a game. His line set at 6.5. I would consider alting his rebounds because I like him to get a double-double today at plus 450 because of the points. Someone's got to score them fucking points, and I think the whole league's on lookout notice after Bam Adebayo puts up an 83. Some of these boys want to go out there and ball. They want to hoop. They don't care if their team's tired or not. And Cooper Flag coming back from being injured means he was resting. So I would consider alting his rebounds. I like the double-double. That's a plus 450. And I would just sprinkle that triple-double at 55 to 1. You're going to be pissed if he gets it and you didn't. So that's the way we'll leave the player prop segment there. My bad that I missed that. That was the fun one. I like to have some fun with some of these things, you know. The Suns and the Toronto Raptors are going to move us into our NBA component out there. But I'd love to see what you guys have for thoughts in the player prop segment. Jerry Davis says, Mikey bet Kempe last game and he did nothing but cardio. You got some workout? You got a workout in? Zofe says, thanks for sharing I appreciate that, man. Protecting our bankrolls. I'm hedging out of my Iowa State. Oh, don't let me talk you off. Cooper Flag rookie MVP still, says JW question mark. I don't know. That's the one thing I'm not really. I mean, I'll take shots. I'll prognosticate. I'd be reading you the newspaper in that one. And I hate doing that. So I can't, I don't know. He's been hurt. I mean, to me, it's just any guy that gets hurt and sits out the length that they do should be ineligible. But look, the entire universe is talking about this as the second game in 3 nights. Toronto should go out there and smack. Toronto smash. Toronto. -4.5 moved to -5.5. 66% of the bets, 68% of the cash. I'm telling you the wrong team's favorite. This is my wrong team favorite up there at Scotiabank Arena. It's interesting because some of the player props that I was looking at, like Scotty Barnes under in his rebounds, I thought about it, like if he's going to get under, are they just blowing out this Phoenix Suns team? And so they start sitting? No. Take a dog off a road game against a team as a favorite again. 41-21 in those positions. Now it's just a 500 spot here, but underdogs against low scoring opponents are 11-1 in the NBA, as wacky as that is. And that's a money line. That's an outright winner perspective. So I see your Toronto Raptors and home teams taking on a streaking opponent, and they're tired and they're fatigued. I just think this one's a little bit different. I think you're giving me 5.5 points. I think you sprinkle that money line, and I think you come back at the end of the day and you say, this was a one basket game the entire way. And we got a gift. Now the Raptors, look, tough travel. They had Houston. They had the Pelicans. They're 1-4 in their last 5, and you're going to make them a 5.5 point favorite? Maybe some would say that's a suspect situation. I do recall seeing Portland rip up into Toronto and smack them in their bottoms. And back-to-back games, they played Milwaukee, they played Indiana. The Pacers game, though, I mean, really? I know this is the second leg and the 3rd and 4, but you played no defense in Milwaukee, a team that's on checkout patrol in Indiana, and you're taking a Raptors team that's 1-4 in their last 5. Tell me why the Suns can't win this game outright. Terry Davis says the Raptors are fugazi. All they beat it. Yep. Jay Main says Suns 5-6 and the spread it back to, yeah. All right. That's the reason. Okay. I get you there. Zoe says, who would be your best PRA fade in this one, gents? Scotty Barnes. There you go. I don't know. I never really thought about it that way. Who would I fade in that spot? The Mavericks and the Cavs are going to take us into the last. Well, we got 2 spots left here for the NBA. We'll talk about the Sharp Respected betting report. We'll put the bow on the show and get everybody up out the dope. How about that? And thank you guys all for being here. If you haven't done so already, smash the thumbs up button. Like and subscribe to the channel. Turn your notifications on, you guys. We've got a lot of big things in the works here with Sports Money. Certainly, we get the morning steam with Ramon Scott. Get the first look out of Las Vegas. See what's happening out there when they open the books up overnight. They put limits on those things, but there are still syndicates and sharp bettors that hit them. So you can tune in at 9 a.m. to see what Ramon Scott has to say about the action that's coming in out of Las Vegas. You'll see me at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday for Pregaming. We go live Saturday for the UFC, a big UFC card tomorrow. They got 14 fights lined up. And it looks like a great card. They got some heavyweights early, man. That's going to be a ton of fun as we live bet the day away. So stay tuned here at the Sports Money Network. We're going to talk Cavs and Dallas Mavericks here. And 10.5s have moved to 14.5. 56% of the bets and 56% of the cash. It's another one of them little sneaky situation spots where you're looking at it going, well, we got a really tired team. They just played yesterday. They did beat Memphis. This is their first game home, which has been good to us. Taking those teams that have had an extended road trip, getting their first game back home. You know what we said earlier in the season, right? Everybody said, oh, you fade them that first game. We said, no, you fade them the second game. When they settle back in and wish that they were back on the road. They got their honey-do list and they're getting piles and piles of shit they got to take care of outside of the arena. But not that first game back. The funny part is home. So we talk about the third game in 4 nights. The spread would indicate to you this. I was on the Wizards last night, right? And a lot of people were like, "That's how bad the Wizards are. That they're that point." That's factored into the line. That was the wrong thinking process. Is that the Wizards suck so bad that's why they're giving them up? No, you take all those points. It's all about counter intuition, if you will, or intuitiveness here. Third game in 4 nights, large spread, home teams. Okay. The book says you should get the shit beat out of you. The reality is you're 24-15 this season. That's a 62% win rate. That's right in the line. I'm looking at Cooper Flagg thinking he's going to go ball out tonight. I know Kyrie's out of this thing. We'll see if Marshall plays or not. I could care less about it. Both these teams' fucking lineups can eat shit. I'm just not getting involved. I know the Cavs let me down the other night. And I learned something about this team when they played out there against Boston. You're 1.5 point favorites against a sluggish, tired, small Boston team. And you let them smack you at home by 10 points, 11 points. It just seemed like and then of course they've got Sixers coming to town. Well, the Sixers are not quite a free square, but they're pretty fucking close. And this Cavs team's 1-4 in their last 5. So yeah, I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to go the opposite direction. When everybody's zigging, we like to zag. And that's why I want to be involved in the Dallas Mavericks business here. And 14.5 seems like a pretty good number to me. Jerry Davis says he thinks Barnes may be out. Jay Mann says, I know it's Friday. Booker over 25.5 points. Hell, continue to cook tonight. Nasty motherfucking Nate says the Knicks in the second quarter. Appreciate that, Nasty Nate. And I'll finish her off with the Bulls and the Clippers. I learned here with this process of timestamps. I got a lot of paper that ends up looking like this. Oh, you can't even see it. Like just a strip of times running down, and this is a useless piece of paper. I'm not taking the Clippers. Not at 14 points. It's another one of them situations. You know, we talked about this before. If you beat the snot out of a team, the books don't really know how to readjust your numbers. And I'll make a statement like that because I'm summarizing. I'm connecting the dots because if I tell you a home team who won by 21 points or more, they're just 247 and 313 after that. That goes back 30 years. So in 30 years of data, what that tells us is if the team just kicks the snot out of somebody, the books don't know how to, there's an overreaction to that snot kicking. And so you want to pay a tax. Let's just summarize it as a tax. You want to pay the snot kicking tax on the Clippers? That's the team you want to pay the snot clipping tax on? Because I'll tell you this, bounce back Bulls are a thing here. They're 61-60 in the last 2 years off a loss. Now, granted, this is their 5th straight road game. 4 of the last 5 games have been wins and covers for the Clippers. So you got to respect what they're doing out there right now. But I'm going to take some bounce back Bulls. I'm not going to pay a tax. I'm not going to pay the books don't know what the hell's going on tax on the Clippers of any of the teams. I'll take the fact that you're going to give me the 500 bounce. That's a money line bounce back, by the way. A money line bounce. I don't think the Bulls win the game outright, but it wouldn't. Why not? What says they can't? So I like this. I like this opportunity to take just a lot of points. And, you know, we've seen these situations where a lot of points have been covering, but these guys are right in smack dab in the middle of a lazy little stretch here where they've got a big homestand. They had the Knicks, they had the T-Wolves, they got the Bulls, they get the Kings. Then they got to step it up for the Spurs. So they're kind of in the malaise, I think, of a tough little scheduling spot to try to kick her down. So let's go to Sharp Respected Betting and we'll put this bow on the show. And let's talk about it here. I read off to you guys the results here. College basketball wise, today they had Wisconsin plus 7.5. They had St. Joseph's against Davidson at -1.5, and then Iowa State at +4.5. So the fact that that line has come down on the Iowa State side of things tells me that they are respecting the action. Fuck, I fucking blew it. I was going to tell you guys. I said, wait, I'll come back to it, and I didn't. It was Vanderbilt. It was Vanderbilt live at halftime. My fault. My bad. So anyways, Iowa State and St. Joseph's are the last two spots in the college hoops side of things. And then over in the NBA, they did go sharp respected betting on the Clippers and the Trailblazers. 13.5 on the Clippers, 15.5 on the Trailblazers. And they're looking at points in Memphis, Detroit. We were walking in Memphis. No, they weren't. They were running. They were sprinting. They were keeping pace. And they're not in Memphis. They're in Detroit. But it does look like it is an over spot that the Sharps are betting. There was a reverse line movement situation that triggered as well. And it was looking at the under in that Dallas and Cleveland game. 236.5 they felt was just a few too many points. But that will conclude it for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you like the format. Hope you enjoy all the things that are going on here at the Sports Money Network. I will be back here on Monday at 5 p.m. for more of the pregame and getting you guys ready to place them winning bets. But we got a big day tomorrow. It's a big one. We got Ramon Scott, 9 a.m., 11 a.m. You get my guy, Mickey Mac Daddy, and I talking about the board, betting the board college basketball. So we'll give you guys a breakdown on pretty much every game that's out there, or at least probably we'll talk about every one of them. So we'll do that inside of an hour. And then we'll come back at 4:45 p.m. for the UFC Vegas 114 Fight Night on behalf of the Sports Money Network. Thank you guys all for being here. Smash